Hi, this is Editor Troxel. In today's tutorial, I want to go and look at the Vegas Capture application that comes with Vegas Pro. And I understand that it may be discontinued at some point or reworked, I don't know. But I tried to use it a couple of times with my tutorials here. But I found that I really could not use that for a couple of reasons. On my old laptop, the one I used previous to this one, it was able to capture the screen, but on this laptop, it doesn't capture the screen. And also, I never could get it to properly add all the captured files onto the timeline in sync, even though there is an option for that. So if we look at the screen, you can see on this particular screen, I have 3 video capture devices and 3 audio capture devices, and I have them all checked. And when I click on the Save button down at the bottom, it does save a vidcap file. And when I click on the other button to save it to the Vegas timeline, I think I've gotten that to work maybe once, maybe twice, I don't know, but it hasn't worked consistently for me. And so therefore, I really don't use this. But suppose you did use it and you do want the information properly in sync on the Vegas timeline. And so that's what I decided to do, was see how to do that. So the first thing I did was look at the capture file. So let's take a look at that file. Here is the actual file, and you can see it's got a sources and then clips and file, and then it's got a file name, there's a start, another name, a type, then another clips, and so forth and so on. And so it's kind of hard to read out, and then we end with this start down here, which you wonder what that start's different than all these other starts, but it's time to figure out what all of this stuff means and how we can get this inside of a script. So the first thing I did was expand it out so that the information made more sense. So once it's expanded out, you can see we have our sources, and then underneath sources, we apparently have, because of this square bracket, we have multiple clips. And each clip will have the name of the device that it came from, the type that it is, so this one is video. And then under clips, apparently we can have multiple files. I've never seen more than one, but apparently it allows for multiple files. And so here's the actual file name and path, and then a start time for that file. And then it goes through the rest of these. Another clip, which is also video. And then here's a clip, which is audio. And then here's another clip, which is also audio. And notice that every one of these are MP4 files. So they may contain only video or only audio, but they're all MP4 files. So we have this clip, which is audio. I told you I had 6 devices. So here's the 6th one, and it's the video. This is the generic monitor, so that would be the screenshot. And then at the bottom, we have one more start time. And that start time would go with sources. Now, I never worked with JSON files before, so I wasn't exactly sure how it all worked and how to get it inside Vegas. So I didn't know how to properly read it into the script. And so it took a little bit of research, but I want to kind of share that research with you and how I managed to get this to work. First, you know, I use the Visual Studio 2015 for most of my stuff, and technically you can still use 2015 because I did when writing this script, but there is a new feature called Paste Special in newer versions of Visual Studio. In 2015, it has a paste special that indicates XML. With the 2019 version I have installed, it shows a paste special with an option for JSON. And so all you have to do is, I just took this right here, this information right here, just highlighted the whole thing and copied it, and then did a paste special JSON into Visual Studio 2019, and it gave me this information which laid out everything that I needed to get the information out of the file, not how to read the information, just how to organize the information. So here is the information it gave me when I did the paste special. And so I have a new public class, which is the root object, and inside it was multiple sources. So this is an array called source, and it's just called sources. And then we have our get set. And then if you notice at the very bottom, there was also that start. That's also under the root. And so under the root, we also had this start. Then this source that we're going to have an array of is defined here. So we have our public class source, and then it has a clip defined, which it can be multiple clips. And so it's got, we just call this clips. And then it also had a name and a type. So if you remember, the name was where this source came from, and the type was video or audio. But it allowed for multiple clips. So under clip, we have it defined here, and it had a file and a start. And so this right here actually defines everything in that file. We just have to figure out how to get it to work. So that's how we can get the layout into Visual Studio without having to go through and research every little piece. We can just do this paste special into Visual Studio, and it will give us all the classes that we need. Join me in the next tutorial as we continue this and we look at how to get the proper DLLs in there so that we can actually read it, and we learn how to actually break that information apart into these classes. So like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next tutorial. Please sign up at www.JETDV.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.